Welcome to Creative Brews. I'm Kristen, and this is your weekly dose of creativity, where photography, design, and life come together. So, grab your favorite drink, and let's talk about what's brewing. Hello, and welcome back to another episode. I hope you have a beverage of some sort, a little snack, or something like that. Welcome to the season 1 of Creative Brews wrap up. As you can tell by the title of this episode, this is in fact the wrap up for season 1. So, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering if there's going to be a season 2, excuse me, and stuff like that. Obviously there's going to be a season 2. I've kind of already talked about it in a few different episodes if you've tuned in to any of those episodes. So as you can tell, the episode where I was going to bring on my friend and her husband and my fiance had to be rescheduled. So what we're planning on doing is film that sometime in January. Sometime in the new year. So that episode is coming. It's just, it'll be in season 2. So that might be one that I kind of start with. But yeah, so this episode, I just really wanted to talk about things to come, what's to come, expectations, and stuff like that. Maybe some timelines, loose timelines, obviously. Obviously, at the end of the day, this isn't like an income that I'm doing, you know what I mean? And even if it was, I don't know. I kind of just treat this as really a hobby. That's really all this podcast is. It's a hobby for me, and stuff like that. I would still be doing this even if nobody watches or listens or anything. But I have gotten a lot of good feedback, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who has given feedback, whether it be positive or, criticism. I can take criticism, and actually I would prefer someone to be like, hey, maybe you should think about this. Maybe you should think about that. Some things to think about. So yeah, a lot of support. I appreciate all the ongoing support. Seriously, I honestly didn't think people would be really interested. To be honest, when I first started this podcast, I was like, well, here we go. It's new to me, and I don't know if anybody's going to be watching, but okay. And honestly, when I first started this podcast, really, it was just supposed to be about, topics that really interest me, and that's really, it still is that. But I was trying to do, each episode on, maybe it's about life, maybe it's about photography, maybe it's about design, because of my intro and whatnot. So that's really how all this began. And honestly, I still try to stay on those topics because at the end of the day, they still are interest of mine. I'm a graphic designer, a photographer. I will always do photography. I don't think I could see myself saying, you know what, I'm never going to do photography ever again. So, and obviously if I get asked, or if people inquire about sessions, it just really depends on the session, the timing, and stuff like that. Location is a huge one. So yeah, it just depends on a few logistics, right? So, however, I don't advertise photography services. The only photography service that I do advertise is brand photography. I have no problem doing that, and the reason why is because with my business, I offer design services. What does that mean? It's literally different for every business, right? That's the reason why I do the subscription plan instead of trying to sell someone, oh, well, you need a new logo. Here's the price for that, and here's the price for this. Whereas if you are a business and you need whatever design service it is, I can do that for you. Whether it be a logo or business cards or brand photography, or maybe you need new updated headshots of various different employees, but basically just tell the story in photography form. I can do that. I can do a lot of different things, which is why it's hard, I guess, because like I said, every business is different. I offer 3 different subscription plans for small, medium, large businesses. So that way I can, help all businesses, whether you're big, small, medium, so I guess what got me on that topic was the my intro, design and photography. Anyways, it's funny because it all kind of does go together. And when I first started the podcast and my business, I really didn't mean for them to collide together. Does that make sense? So the fact that they kind of have without me setting out to do that is it just tells me that it's right, so, and that's really what my 2025 has been, to not force things. I'm not making things happen per se. I mean, obviously, yes, I'm doing the work. At the end of the day, I am obviously, as you all know, at least now a lot of people know, I've always been very spiritual, and probably always will be. I find meaning in different things, whether it be in repeating numbers, whether it be repeating word, or whatever pattern it is, so I definitely am someone who sees meaning in a lot of different areas of life. I believe that's one of the reasons why I love photography, is because it's my way of being able to not only leave behind little pieces of me and what I experienced and saw in my life, but it's my way of being artistic and, offer something that maybe no one has seen before, or maybe in a different way, something like that. So yeah. So yeah, I find meaning in a lot of different aspects of life. Obviously, I have not written down how this is all gonna go, so I really hope, I'm trying to keep it, not too long, not too wordy, but anyways, yes, so season 2 is to come. I believe I started this podcast sometime in February, I want to say. So I might keep that time frame of when season 2 will be will be uploaded, will be, I'll give some updates, and I will give those updates. I'll try to give them on YouTube. I think you can leave posts and stuff like that. But if you're not following me on at least Instagram, then you could miss some updates. And honestly, I do offer different content on the different platforms. So obviously, I don't really like Threads, and I don't really like TikTok that much anymore, but I still try to upload something or share something onto my Threads. Threads for me is more so more wordy. If I wanted to leave just a simple quick quote, then I will. I do try to share some of my Instagram content over to Threads. And then on TikTok, I do try to, post here and there. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm going to always post this many times and all this other stuff. Like I said, I don't really care that much for TikTok. Now, what I will do is, it's funny because lately I'll go on TikTok and I'll see or I'll hear some sounds that I like, or a lot of times I'll let TikTok pick the audio or whatever. Anyways, so yeah, if you're not following me on any of my other social medias, you definitely should check it out. Follow me, especially on Instagram, because I do offer different pieces of content over there. I do try to share to my YouTube shorts, at least, Instagram and YouTube shorts, definitely. But that way you get updates, you don't miss out on anything. Obviously, some big pieces of information is I am planning on taking off the whole month of December and January and come back in February because holidays, our little one's birthday, my fiance's birthday, my birthday. My birthday's in January. December is going to be probably I'm going to try to not make it hectic, or not make it, because chaos is not something that I really like, obviously. But it is going to be busy, obviously. You can still prioritize your slow mornings and stuff like that, but it is going to be pretty busy. So with all of that being said, and to, obviously, new mom, I definitely want to soak in all of December. Our little one is going to be turning 1 year old, so that's a big milestone. And my major thing for 2025 was to stay present, to stay open, to stay ready. And everybody in the spiritual world will know what I'm talking about. But, stay neutral as much as you can. And mainly stay present and if you're a new parent, or if you're about to be a new mom, new dad, new parent period, or if you are a parent, you will know what I'm talking about. But staying present has been one of the major things for me, which is why I created, or I even made a Protect Your Energy series, the now frequency and stuff like that. But really the now frequency I think is pretty cool, because earlier this year I set my intention, and I said, I think I even said it in a podcast episode, that the time is now. And that was my intention setting for 2025. Then I was like, you know what? Yeah, sounds good. We're going to go with it. And then as it settled into me, and as I thought about it more, I was like, no, this is my intention for 2025. And I can tell you that my intention for 2026 is going to be big. So 2026 is going to be amazing. I can feel it in my bones. I just know that it's going to be amazing. And I hope that you all have had an amazing 2025. Let me know how your year has been, whether it's been good, bad, ugly. Let us know. We can, uplift each other in the comments. So just saying. And also leave your intention setting for your 2026. And I also would like to know what topics you really want me to do. Like, what topics interest you. Obviously, I'm going to be sitting down and doing some planning and stuff like that. I'm going to probably sit down and think about things that I want to change, things to update and stuff like that, which is why I'm really wanting to take the time, not only for family time and stuff like that, but to really sit down and really get down a schedule, maybe even get some episodes filmed and go ahead and get them scheduled. So we'll just see what time allows, and because I'm only going to do that in my spare time. So obviously December and January I'm not going to prioritize the podcast, which is why I'm taking the time off. And you might have noticed, but one, I got my hair updated. I just got layers put into it. And then two, I've got this turned on, but I'm kind of testing out a new mic. Hopefully the audio isn't bad. It shouldn't be, because I've kind of tested it out already. But it's an early Christmas gift from my fiance. Thank you. So he bought me this mic. Which then I was like, well, now I have to start the podcast. He's been very supportive, and it's just been very amazing, because I've never had anybody be supportive of me before. It's always just been me, So it's just amazing to finally, have that support and someone who loves you, So anyways, I'm not gonna get emotional. Anyways, he got me the DJI, the mic, and the transmitter. So the transmitter is hooked up to my camera, which takes out the step because, so for this mic, I need a cord to go from the mic to the camera. Right now, I'm using my portrait lens, so that way you get a nice blurry background, and it just looks professional, right? So, he really bought this so that way when guests are on, they can mic up, and I can use this mic. He has a mic, but it picks up like a lot of the background noise. This mic is pretty good. Actually, it's really good for the price range. So if you're wanting to start your own podcast, I highly recommend this one. I'll try to leave the link below for it. You can get it in, I think, white and black. I'm not sure about any other colors. Maybe pink, I think. So yeah, I love the light at the bottom. It kind of goes with the neon theme here. I love neon, I always have. But yeah, so this is nice. And like this mic, it kind of eliminates the background noise. Sometimes you can still hear the background noise, but you have some options here, which is really nice. This mic, you have options on the transmitter to either enhance the background noise or kind of mute it out, which is really nice. It should eliminate a lot of the background noise, but you could still hear some of the background noise. Anyways, again, like I said, it is not to replace this mic. I still love this mic, and will still use it. I might use this from time to time like I am today, because I still do plan on getting a little cord for this mic. And I guess I'll probably be testing out another camera just to kind of see, but I probably will just keep using my Sony. I've been using my Sony camera. A7 III is the one I've been using. It's the perfect hybrid camera. I think I bought it probably 5 or 6 years ago. So I believe it's been about 5 years ago that I bought this camera. This kind of helps because I also get questions about, you know, well, how do I start? Where do I start, you know, my own podcast and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I've made a few upgrades here and there as I've been doing Creative Brews and stuff like that. And, you know, like I said, with season 2, I could be using a new camera. It just really depends. So we'll see. In the time that I'm taking off, I will try a few things and stuff like that probably. When I do have some spare time, I'll probably do episodes, but you all won't see them until the new year, obviously. So that way I can kind of get some episodes like banked and sort of, and go ahead and get them scheduled and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I know all this stuff like the gear and whatnot sounds intimidating, but excuse me, a bit of advice for everybody who is looking to start their own podcast or even start doing YouTube videos is just start where you are. And I feel like people say that, and you watching or tuning in or listening, you're probably like, yeah, well, you know, I don't know where to start. Or if you do know where to start, you're probably like, well, that's easier said than done. Honestly, it's the easiest bit of advice that I can offer anybody, because whether you have a webcam, you know, webcams have come a long way, believe it or not. I have a webcam, an external webcam, just for meetings and stuff like that I've had to do. And that one is pretty good, actually. I know it's a little awkward because, you know, you're looking at your computer screen and stuff like that, but it's really, you know, similar. Or I literally, I'm not sure if I maybe have said this in a previous episode. I started with my phone. Yes, I had my camera. I have 2 cameras and stuff like that. But I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know if this is something that I'm gonna be like doing, but then my fiance got me the mic, and then I was like, well, now I have to do the podcast. So all I have to say is start with what you have, start with where you are, and that's the overall arching message here, is to just start. I have an old ring light that's literally right here. I have other lights on. I don't have, you know, studio lighting. I don't have all like, and honestly, all the gear that some people say, oh, you should have this and you should have that. It really just depends on you, what you're looking to get out of your podcast. The aesthetics and the vibes you're wanting to bring across to the viewer or the listener, whoever's tuning in, and stuff like that. So that's really the advice that I have. Trying to remember in my brain, because I didn't write anything down. I'm like, I don't need it. The only thing I wrote down was like some things to think about to help wrap up this episode and, you know, kind of maybe leave you with some inspiration and stuff like that. And excitement for season 2. I'm so excited. Like I said, I'll be sitting down and kind of planning the first few episodes and stuff like that. The episode that we will film with my friend, her husband, and my fiance hopefully will happen in January. If not, in the near future anyway. But if we do that one, it'll probably be one of the firsts. Obviously, I will still be uploading one episode a week. That's not gonna change. Some of the changes will probably be like the intro and stuff like that. It'll probably just be some minor adjustments and changes that you'll notice. Oh, I believe I've been asked, like, how do you record your audio? It is by a mic like this one or like this one. This one you can buy, I believe, on Black Friday. Obviously, this episode is going up on Cyber Monday. So, you know, it's DJI. DJI is a great brand. I've heard a lot of good things about DJI. I first heard about the Pocket 3. That was really what I was wanting to get my hands on, but I never did. And then politics happened, which caused the camera to go a lot higher than it was going, which I kind of think is crazy. Anyways, I believe I've touched on everything. I hope I don't go and edit this and be like, oh no, I didn't say this or that. But yeah, I use a mic. The software is either on my PC or my iPad. So I either edit my episodes on my PC or my iPad. So I use a mixture of GarageBand, which is hilarious because I went all these years without using GarageBand because I never really needed to use it anyway, right? So, yeah, so, and then I use just whatever the software is for my PC, or that's already on the PC. I think it's literally called Recorder. I believe that's about it. But yeah, I mean, just start. It's easier said than done. I get it. It's also the easiest bit of advice that I can give anybody. And also keep it simple, you know? You don't need an elaborate setup. Nobody's gonna know unless your video quality is horrible. Nobody's really gonna know if you're recording on your phone versus on a camera, right? I mean, phones have come a really long way. So, yes, and as you can tell behind me, I have my book. This video was sponsored by and is sponsored by the book that I wrote and published. I kind of got that idea from James May. Me and my fiance was watching something that he was, I think an episode that he was doing. He does these like cooking episodes. And he has gin, so he's like, this episode was brought to you by. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna do that for my book. But I really truly do feel like if you are trying to maybe look for a Christmas gift, a birthday gift, I know the New Year is coming up, New Year, new me vibes. This book is for anybody. Like, so I feel like it's great for any occasion, really. It's basically self-love and self-care, self-love in a book form. It's got quotes, and then at the end of every chapter, it has prompts. So whether you have your life all together or not, this book is for you. If you are struggling, if you are a new mom or not, a new parent or not, like literally this book is for anybody. Wherever you're at on your journey, this book will meet you there. So I really truly feel like this book will help a lot of people. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has reviewed my book. I really appreciate it, and I know that they are all enjoying the book. I think it has surprised quite a bit of people, because I think this book really is truly something that people didn't know they needed. You know, so, but to everybody who has reviewed my book, I appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. I will be adding the reviews to my website, so that way, you know, it kind of gives a little snapshot. But yeah, you can buy my book wherever books are sold. Again, if you're not following me on social media, all my links to my book, to all my social media links will be below in the show notes or the description. And yeah, I mean, I absolutely cannot wait to sit down and record the new episodes. But I want to leave you all with this. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your year. Again, let me know your intentions for your 2026 below, or you can DM me, as well as some topics that you all would be interested in seeing me talk about or touch on or do, or whatever the case is. And yes, like I keep saying, I'm super excited. And I cannot wait to see what's to come, the opportunities. Obviously, with my book, there are plans. I'm working on the audio proportion of my book myself to kind of create sort of like a meditative, hopefully, experience. Not just reading the book, but also, you know, offering maybe some, like a meditative vibe is what I'm going for there. So we will see. Also, that's the reason why I say you should definitely follow me on other social media, because I'll be giving updates for the new season 2 of Creative Brews, as well as my book, as well as anything else that's coming up. So like I said, 2026 is going to be a big year. I can feel it. I know it's going to be a big year. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And I hope that you all feel the same about your new year. I know we're all in different areas of our journey. We're all in different areas of our lives. So to some people, they're enjoying life. To other people, they're struggling. You know, I hope that you're able to really take this holiday season and spend it with family or whoever you dub as your family, because I know not everybody has family. Everybody has either lost someone or doesn't have family, or maybe they're struggling, you know. So to you watching, listening, tuning in, I hope that you have an amazing rest of your year as well as the holiday season to come. Whether you celebrate it or not, you should, if you don't celebrate the holidays, you should celebrate you. Seriously. So yeah, your birthday isn't the only time that you should be celebrating you. Just saying. Anyways, with all of that being said, I think I've touched on everything. Again, if you have any inquiries or anything like that, or if you have gotten a copy of my book, tag me. I want to know and I want to hear about it, and I want to hear what you think about my book. But yes, I'm gonna leave it with this. I'm gonna leave this episode with this. I jotted down a few things to remember and to think about, but remember, your path is unfolding exactly the way it's meant to. Keep showing up, keep choosing yourself, and keep trusting that what's aligned will always find you. Even if it's tough, even if it's rough, hard, or even if it's not hard, if it's easy or whatever, you know. You are allowed to start again. You are allowed to evolve, and you are allowed to want more for yourself, even if you have more. That's the reason why we continuously work on ourselves, continuously grow, continuously learn. I hope season 1 reminded you of your power. I hope it gave you some insight, some things to think about. I mean, you can go back and watch or tune in, listen to the episodes. They're not going anywhere. So, with all that being said, stay aligned, stay open, stay rooted, stay grounded in who you're becoming. And with all that being said, I'll see everybody in season 2. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Feliz Navidad. I mean, all the things, you know, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Yes, I mean, even if you don't celebrate the holidays, happy end of the year. Happy you should celebrate you, like I said. But yeah, with all that being said, cheers, and I will see you all in the new year.